sun dipped low over the dusty plains, painting the sky in molten gold and blood-red streaks. Clara felt the first stirrings of unease as she watched a lone figure approach on horseback. Jameson, the cowboy she had trusted with her heart, rode with a confidence that made every woman in town turn their gaze. Yet, there was something in his eyes she had failed to see at first, a flicker of recklessness, a shadow of danger. At first, his charm had seemed irresistible, the way he tipped his hat, the ease with which he drew her into his stories of adventure, and the way he made her feel protected in a world as harsh and unforgiving as the desert itself. But soon, subtle cracks began to appear, tiny betrayals that whispered louder than his promises, a glance that lingered too long on someone else, a smile that didn't reach his eyes, and moments where he disappeared without explanation left Clara feeling hollow, questioning the very instincts that had once guided her so well. Her naive and hopeful heart had trusted the wrong cowboy, and that mistake had cost her more than she could have imagined. The first time danger struck, it nearly claimed her life, a sudden sandstorm that blotted out the sun, leaving her disoriented, alone, and vulnerable. Jameson's cowardice revealed itself then. Instead of protecting her, he vanished, leaving Clara to fight against the whipping wind and flying sand, her fear rising with every step. Exhausted and battered, she stumbled into the open plains, the harsh wind tearing at her hair, the sun beating down with cruel intensity. A loneliness settled over her that was almost unbearable. It was then, as the horizon shimmered with heat and despair, that she saw him, Cole, the man who would change the course of her journey. Unlike Jameson, Cole did not boast or make promises he could not keep. He approached with quiet determination, his eyes steady, filled with the kind of understanding that only comes from having faced betrayal and survived. His horse moved with a grace and purpose that matched his calm demeanor. Clara felt a strange sense of hope stirring within her, a fragile but undeniable thread of trust she had not felt in weeks. Together, they navigated the treacherous terrain, each step fraught with danger-hidden ravines, sudden storms, and the ever-present threat of outlaws who roamed these lands. Cole's instincts were sharp, his actions precise, and with every moment, Clara realized how different he was from the man she had once believed was her protector. When bandits finally ambushed him at a narrow canyon, it was Cole's courage, not bravado, that saved her. He moved swiftly, taking calculated risks, shielding her with unwavering resolve. In that moment, Clara's heart recognized the truth. She had been given a second chance, a chance to trust someone whose loyalty was genuine and whose strength was measured not in words but in deeds. That night, beneath a sky ablaze with stars, they camped near a flickering fire. Clara's voice trembled as she shared her past, the pain of betrayal, and the loneliness that had haunted her. Cole listened without interruption, his presence a steadying force, his empathy unspoken but profoundly felt. For the first time, Clara felt safe not just from the dangers of the West, but from the shadows of doubt and fear that had plagued her. The journey ahead promised uncertainty. The desert was unforgiving, and threats lurked in every corner. Yet, with Cole by her side, she felt emboldened. Each day that passed revealed more of his character, his quiet humor, his unwavering sense of justice, and his ability to remain calm under pressure. Slowly, the walls Clara had built around her heart began to crumble, replaced by a trust that had once seemed impossible. She remembered Jameson, not with longing, but with clarity. The wrong cowboy had taught her a lesson she would never forget, and yet it was the right one who had shown her that love could coexist with courage, that loyalty could exist even in a world defined by treachery. As the sun rose over the desert the next morning, bathing the landscape in golden light, Clara knew her journey was far from over. There would be trials, perhaps even danger more fierce than she had yet encountered. But with Cola's hand steady on the reins and his eyes fixed on the horizon, she felt ready. The wrong cowboy had been a chapter of pain. The right one had become the story of her salvation, her guide through the perilous expanse of the Wild West, and perhaps the one she would come to love with a heart that was wiser, braver, and ready to embrace the future, no matter what storms lay ahead. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales from the Wild West. See you next time.